Hello, my name is Sibyl Harmony, and I'm a teacher of teachers, an energy healer, and this is a video about how your beliefs affect you. So, many people have heard about positive thinking and affirmations, and those are really helpful, and I love that. And your feelings, your thoughts create your feelings, how you feel, and that affects your health. But I felt like my thoughts were thinking me. I felt like I was making bad decisions in my life and I couldn't control my thoughts, and I was like, what's going on? So I started learning and tuning into my energy, to energy healing, which is what I do, and it started affecting the way I thought about myself and how I felt physically, my health, my career, my finances, my relationships, everything. It affects everything. So if you have a belief, a core belief, it looks like a snapshot or a picture. So a belief is formed either from an event. So there's an earthquake, there's an accident, there's an illness, there's an abusive situation. So it's caused by an event or a belief. And so a belief can be projected onto you by well-meaning parents or school or society, like good people are like this. So one of the beliefs that I had from watching TV and my mother was that I didn't have a lot of value and that my value was in my looks. And I was blonde when I was younger and I was large chested. So I decided I'm a dumb blonde. And that's how I would get a guy and have a relationship, and people would not abandon me because I had abandonment issues from childhood abuse. And so I decided to be stupid. And I bought into this from watching, the dumb blonde things on TV. I thought it was funny. It was cute. People will like me. And I wasn't really even aware that I was doing that. I was just trying to survive my life. And so the first time I sat in front of a healer, a psychic medium or healer, that person said to me, "I'm not buying it." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's not, "I'm not buying the stupid picture." I was like, "What?" And he was right. I was projecting, I was living my life through this picture that I wasn't worthy and that I had to be, look good and be a dumb blonde so that people would approve of me and I wouldn't be rejected. And so that's how beliefs work. And so I always picked, people who would invalidate me to be in relationship with, jobs that invalidated me, and I didn't feel really worthy as a person. That affects my income. It affects my health. Because if you don't feel worthy, underneath all that, unconsciously, I was depressed and I was looking for something to make me feel better. So I found pills. I need a pill. I'm depressed. And so that was not my answer. It worked temporarily, but it didn't really, it's just like putting a bandage on a big infected wound. And until I discovered energy healing, my beliefs, my pictures, and looked at that, then I was able to free myself from that. And so we all have ego, fear, the shadow side. We are living in a world that has been in the shadows and in the darkness for a long time. It used to be, thousands of years ago, millennia ago, that we could see auras, that we knew who we are. And we lost that. We lost the 12-strand DNA, our ability to get guidance, our ability to make good decisions, our ability. And you might say, I make good decisions. Okay. But I guarantee you, you've got a shadow side. We all do have a shadow, fear, ego. And so I'm going to go into my samadhi, which is where I send love to people. And that's the guides are coming in. Okay. And I also talked to several days ago, a past life regressionist who'd written several books, Dolores Cannon, came to me and started talking to me. And I realized what she was saying is that I do similar work as her, even though I trained with people who trained under her, who did similar work as her. I didn't go to her school, but I deal with the subconscious. So I tune in and I see what is going on underneath, what we're not aware of, what we're not conscious of. And my purpose here on this planet, similar to Dolores Cannon, was to wake as many people up as possible to the possibilities of who you are and what you can be and how you can enjoy your life by having a higher frequency, which is your thoughts and your beliefs, your energy. Okay. So affirmations and positive thinking work well. I even heard an advertisement on the radio the other day. A mainstream hospital was saying, if you forgive people in their advertisements, it could improve your health. And I was like, what? Really? Okay. So, yeah. So it is getting to be more mainstream, but the mainstream media and I love the original esoteric messages of religion, but what it's changed to now, which is using control or fear to control people, to program people. And you may not think, well, I'm not programmed. Well, what's your higher self? What's your unconscious saying? And so when you start to do this, you're not living so much in the past, because we have pictures in the past of what happened, even past lives. And that gives us, and we're like trying to live our life, survive what happened before, the traumas that happened before, or we're projecting into the future, trying to prevent something negative for happening, some illness or something or some loss or, so that's what Eckhart Tolle talked about, is being in the present moment, being in the moment of now. And so when I found energy healing, I was like, oh, okay. I was able to find that moment of now, which is actually an energy place. So you have an aura, you have the hundreds of chakras in your body, you have a central channel. You are energy, you are vibration. And within all of that is everything that you think and feel and believe, everything that's happened to you, and even what you're calling in. Okay. So when you tune into your energy, which can be done through meditative like practices, you can become more aware of energy and your thoughts through yoga, through art, through music, through being creative, through walking in nature. Those are meditative like practices. Or you can meditate or pray. So when you're doing these things, when you have the ability to sit and look at yourself, then you could start to understand, what are the unconscious energies in my space that are affecting me, that are affecting how I feel, and how to shift that frequency so that you're present and that you're more aware. And when you do that, you're actually jumping timelines. And so what is a timeline? A timeline is like how your soul is evolving and what you came here to learn. And when you start to awaken, you're no longer living in so much in the world of shadows and fear, but you're living in what you came here to do, who you really are. Okay. So animals know. I was on a walk today, and animals a lot of times take on their owners' unconscious, unaware, unevolved issues or energies. And so animals, a lot of times when they have fear or they're aggressive, I was walking today I have a really large shepherd dog, and these two little dogs were terrified at two separate times. The owner's holding them back. The dog is trying to lunge forward. It is fearful. It's trying to attack, and the owner is having a problem. And what they don't realize is that the dog is trying to now it could be it's a rescue dog and it's traumatized before the person got the dog, so that's true. That can happen, but they're trying to correct the dog, and instead of saying hello to the fear that's going on within them and within their animal, and how to address that. So that can be done in energy healing as well. So it also is a matter of really grounding and owning your space and letting the dog know you're the pack leader. So dogs are pack animals. But there was no reason at all for these dogs to be fearful and of my dog, because he's totally loving and he's not going to attack them. And so it just reminded me of how people live their lives unconsciously with all this fear and this stuff, this unresolved issues that we just kind of push down so we can survive, or we kind of just block out. And when you do energy healing, that's what comes out. And that's the same work that Dolores Cannon did. And that's why I realized that she was coming forward and speaking with me. So I teach these methods in my classes. I have a weekly sacred circle that's quite affordable for students. And I also am doing an energy healing class where we'll be addressing our pictures, our beliefs, and how to recognize it. And a lot of times they're not our energy. A lot of times people are feeling pain or fatigue or illness that isn't even their own, especially if you're sensitive and empathic. You can be like a pin cushion. You're like a sponge. You're like absorbing everything that's going on the planet, and your ex, or whatever. And then it sometimes doesn't happen right away. But what happens is the energy field starts to get really clogged. So whoever you have a relationship with, you have cords, and then you're corded into their pictures and their beliefs. And so it's quite, and it could even be to get really out there, a non-human, it can be a thought form. It could be a deceased person, an attachment, and I guess what you would call in the Bible or religion would say it's a demon. That's very rare. That hardly ever happens. But we're living in energy soup of thought forms. So I had this one friend who a family member moved in with her, and all of a sudden she just started feeling really angry. Oh, just really angry. And then she started arguing with that person. And she wasn't, and she realized I gave her healing. I'm like, you've taken on that person is control, has a control energy because they're fearful and they're really angry, and you've actually taken on their energy. Another gal, she had a pain in her neck, going to a chiropractor every week for years. And then also couldn't sleep. So started taking a sleeping medication. And I'm sorry, you don't need a pill to sleep. You got something in your energy. I'm sorry, that's my maybe once in a while or for a short time if you're having a trauma and you need some support. But she's taking this sleeping pill and it's like, oh, it's nothing. I'm like, yes, it is. It's a lot. And did you read the side effects? One of the side effects, muscle pain. Okay. But we went in and talked to her subconscious, her energy field. And what I realized is that she's angry at her father. Her father abused her and devalued her, and she's still angry at her father. And so the neck is out of balance. Okay. And so once she recognized that, 50% of the pain was gone. So that's where we're getting in. And sometimes all of the pain is gone. Okay. But then we had still deal with the side effects of the drug. And I'm not against a medication, and you should talk to your doctor if you're on medication, but know your side effects. Okay. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer in there. But this is actual real healing. And it's changed my life. And, we might think, if we're defensive or self-righteous or argumentative, or we need to be right, or we need to have everything perfect. We're wanting other people to act right, or we're trying to control or manipulate other people, or we're being controlled or manipulated, or we don't know who we are, or it just, the list goes on and on of we're depressed, we're fearful. You've got energy in your space, and wouldn't be surprised if you had a picture there. And once you clean out the picture, then you can resolve the issue. Okay? So it's pretty amazing. This is the new energy that's coming in, where we are becoming awakened to our thoughts and our feelings and how we make decisions. So I had somebody call me the other day, and she's like, I'm going to move. I just feel like I need to move out of the state. I'm like, wait a minute. We just talked last week and you love your house. What happened? What happened? Well, my son moved in and he wants to leave the country and he's very unhappy. And so what happens to an empathic, sensitive person? They take on the other person's energy, and then they wonder, like, what is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just healing people. You're an unpaid healer. Nobody taught you. You have a space. Ground and breathe and let that stuff go. So you can do it with your intention. You can do it now. Like, I don't feel right. Like, use your intention. Like, all of a sudden you're around some people and you start feeling tired or upset or something. Are you taking on their stuff? You can use your intention and breathe and let it go. When I used to clear haunted houses, or I work with deceased people that are, like disembodied, disincarnated. That means they haven't crossed over, they're a haunting. Or even when I'm doing mediumship, I just use my energy and I push them out. Like, okay, get out of my space. Because if you're not feeling happy, peaceful, joyful, aligned, balanced, you got energy in your space. And sometimes it's been there so long, we just think, oh, it's just the way I am. I'll eat a box of ice cream. That's what I used to do. I used to get ice cream, cake, whatever, and try to fill what was the anxiety and the stuff that's going on. And try to, make it go away, trying to have comfort food, or trying to, until I sat down and learned to sit down and look at myself and send love to myself. And I'm sending you so much love now. And I hope you can feel that when you watch my videos. Now, I am going to do a political video this Saturday. I'm going to do live. And at the end of the videos, we're doing kind of like a grounding and a clearing. And so that can help you as well. And I also wanted to say, I talked about my classes and the political video. Yeah. So, okay. So I'll be doing that. And so thank you so much for watching my videos. Please subscribe. And, that really helps me. It supports me in the work that I'm doing. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. If you want, you can go on my website. It's Sibyl Harmony. It's over here. Oop, over there. So if you're looking for the spelling. And I have a newsletter on there. And I send out a newsletter once a month, or a video. So in case for whatever reason I'm off YouTube, I don't know if they'll start monitoring YouTube more or whatever. YouTube